I love it when a horror movie can really dig deep and really scare you and deal with some heavy subject matter and really create a lasting impact and really conjure up fear in the viewer. I think that's a great thing. But I think it's an equally great thing where a horror movie can take a concept and run with it in a more comedic kind of way, which is absolutely what Leprechaun, the original film in in the Leprechaun saga, what that does. And I think it does it quite brilliantly, actually. I think it's a very funny, very entertaining movie. And it's one that's perfect for Halloween season movie viewing, and I guess for St. Patrick's viewing as well. Though, in fairness, this first film in the Leprechaun series, it doesn't take place on St. Patrick's Day, though the sequel does. But that's a story for another day. The story of this one, it's fairly straightforward. I mean, we have the opening scene where this man, he returns from Ireland. He's gone there for his mother's funeral, and he's going on about riches and moving and having found this pot of gold. He caught a leprechaun while in Ireland, and he's stolen his gold and he's hiding it, and he's telling his wife to pack up. We're getting out of this dump, things like that. But aha, the leprechaun, the evil little fucker, he's followed him back with his leprechaun magic, I guess. So the wife is killed, and he has a stroke. We later find out that he's been sent to, a hospital, and no one believes his story of the leprechaun, and reasonably so. But before all that, he is able to trap the leprechaun. Of course, his weakness is the four-leaf clover, as per the leprechaun rules. So he's stuck there for 10 years until a new family shows up. It's a man and his daughter. They've come to start anew in New Mexico, or I'm sorry, North Dakota is where they start. And uh, father's pretty happy with this new start, but the daughter, she's more of a California kind of girl. She's very uptight, and she likes the mall and stuff. She's dressed in the peak of 90s fashion, as if she's gonna hang out at the Peach Pit with the Saved by the Bell kids. And I mean, I guess you can't really bury the lead any further. This is Jennifer Aniston in a pre-Friends role, playing this girl who, along with her father and the painters who are working on the house, they encounter this leprechaun who has been awakened from his slumber in this crate in the basement of this house, which in the past 10 years has not been occupied. And he's looking for his gold, and he'll kill to get it. And that's essentially the plot of the movie. Not too bad. Obviously, this movie, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which I think is a good move. I mean, it is a story about a murderous leprechaun who wants his gold. So I mean, I could see how an angle with this may have been done in a way that would have been probably intentionally funny or unintentionally funny anyway. So I think to take this comedic tone to it was a very smart role from Mark Jones, the writer and director of this epic, this great film, Academy Award winning film. But I mean, it really is funny, actually, and a lot of the stuff that this leprechaun does is quite amusing. I mean, we'll see him in the search for his gold, looking around. He comes across a box of Lucky Charms. They're like the off-brand Hollywood "Don't Sue Us" version of Lucky Charms, and gets more murderous when his gold is found by one of the painters and is brought to a shop for appraisal, kept overnight. He goes to him, and he gets on a pogo stick and laughs maniacally and chases down a cop who thinks he's just in a Halloween costume or something, doesn't grasp the severity of this evil leprechaun, and spouting out one-liners and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a very comedic movie, and it does so brilliantly. It really does. It's more entertaining than it has any right to be, given how really stupid, how really stupid this movie is. But I think it is sold by the performances, which are actually really good comedic performances all around. Of course, we have Jennifer Aniston, pre-Friends role, and we can kind of get the hints in this performance of the comedic chops that would follow. I think she's a very talented comedic actress, and not like kind of an over the top kind of way, but just I don't know. She has almost like a deadpan delivery to her, which is absolutely needed when she's talking about a killer leprechaun, right? So I think she does a fantastic job in the movie, as does Warwick Davis, who is a brilliantly funny actor. I mean, if you've never seen Life's Too Short, his comedy show from Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, absolutely check that out. He's a brilliant comedic actor. And while they name drop Star Wars till the cows come home on that show, they never ever mention Leprechaun, which was such a missed opportunity. They talk about him being in cheesy horror movies, but they never name drop Leprechaun. But he did a good tour of duty with this character as the evil homicidal Leprechaun. I think he did. He must have done at least 6 movies. He did this one, 2, and 3. He did In Space. He did Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Then I think they replaced him with another actor, which I haven't seen. But this first one, I would argue, the first 3, I would say, are really good, really solid horror comedies, and really take advantage of this concept, because it is kind of an interesting concept. Generally we know the legend of what a leprechaun is, and how it kind of works. Like, you find the leprechaun, he leads you to his gold, and he has to give it to you, and that's pretty much it. But here they even kind of set up a little bit of kind of a rule set of this evil leprechaun, and how 4-leaf clovers can stop him, of course. And in this particular case, he's a shoemaker, and so we find we find that shoes are kind of an Achilles heel to him, or at least a distraction to him. But obviously the main plight of this leprechaun is to get his gold back, and that's what he does. And he tortures these poor people who kind of run around screaming while he's on the pogo stick, on like the skateboard, going back and forth and doing all kinds of funny things. So I mean, it's a movie with a decidedly funny tone to it, which I very much appreciate, and I very much appreciate the cast's commitment to this ridiculous fucking movie. It's so again, it's so much better than it has any right to be, but I'm completely and totally entertained by it, and it never fails to put a smile on my face. So I mean, in the off chance that you have not seen the great classic Leprechaun, starring Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston, absolutely give it a look. It's a very funny movie, and it works in good horror elements to it, though on the comedic side. But we have this full leprechaun makeup, which is quite good. I mean, it's really top of the line kind of work. The makeup effects, the special leprechaun makeup is credited to Gabe Z. Bartolos, who does it for this film. I'm not sure if he did it for the sequels, though he may have, but this one in particular, it stands out quite a bit, and rightly so. Within kind of the opening of the film, they don't give it away too much. They keep him in the shadows until we get a better look at him later on in the film. So very, very good horror comedy, very good effects, cheesy as hell, but I love it. Leprechaun. What else is there to say? Leprechaun. So in a month of watching a lot of kind of heavier movies dealing with kind of bleak subject matter, loss and death and psychosis and all this kind of stuff, this is kind of a good breath of fresh air. It's, at least if we can momentarily switch gears to something a little bit more lighthearted for this month's reviews, it's well worth doing so with this one. So check it out, Leprechaun, absolute classic. That's my review. Plenty more reviews to come. 31 days of horror, going strong still. Stay scared, and until next time, I'll see you later.